Today's video intro will be performed by one of my students, Elliot.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another math video. Today we will be talking about area and perimeter of complex figures, word problems, similar to the problems that you see up on the screen. Just a reminder that this is the normal version of the lesson. If you would like the speedrun version where we go through the problems pretty quickly, I will link that in the description below. Okay, the Ricasso Recap starts now in 30 seconds or less. Here's what you need to know before you start this lesson.
Firstly, you should already be familiar with perimeter and how to calculate it. And secondly, you should already be familiar with how to calculate area. So if you would like refreshers on either of these two topics, I will link those in the description below. Please go watch that before you start this lesson. All right, new lesson starts now. Here we go. So it says Turner has an L-shaped kitchen countertop. The picture shows what the countertop looks like. So here's the kitchen countertop. And it says, what is the total area of the countertop? Now, the way that you do these problems is you split them into smaller shapes that you already know. So for example, if I split this countertop, for example, let's draw a line here. And so now we have this rectangle and we have another rectangle. Let's do it in a different color. And then we have this rectangle here. Okay, and we know, and it says what is the area, so we need to find the area of two different rectangles. So for the big one in purple, that would be 10 times 3, which is 30. And for the red, that would be 5 times 3, which is 15. Add those together, 30 plus 15, and you get 45, and this was feet, so this is square feet. And this is the total area of our countertop. Okay, just split it into smaller rectangles or squares or whatever shape you need it to be. Now, I will make a slight note here. You could have also split this rectangle a different way. If you had split it this way, okay, you can split it this way, but you have to be careful because now when you look at this side right here, this is no longer 10, right? Because you cut that. And you cut it off by 3, right? Because I know this side is 3, because this and this are 3. So now, instead of this side being 3, this is now 7. Okay, so depending on where you split your shapes, okay, just make sure you account for that. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now they've had time to work these problems. Let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, you might have split this into a different way, but no matter how you split it, you should get a total area of 138 square yards. And for the second problem, again, depending on how you split it, your work might look a little different, but at the end of the day, your answer should have been 62 square yards. Now, let's look at this one. It says Jake is putting a fence all the way around his vegetable garden to keep the rabbits out. The picture shows Jake's vegetable garden. Very nice. Okay, we got some, I don't know, pumpkins and lettuce. I don't know. Anyway, it says, how long does Jake's fence need to be? So here they're not asking about area, right? They're asking about perimeter. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to split this. Well, actually, let's not even split it. Let's do it this way. The only side of the fence that we don't have a number for is this bottom side here, okay, this side down here. So the way we get that side is we sort of look at, okay, I know this part is 6. And I know because of the opposite side in this small rectangle, right? You kind of fake split it. Okay, I'm going to fake split this into 2 rectangles. So we know this part is 6, and then we know that the opposite side of this rectangle has to be 5. So 6 plus 5 is 11. You could do it that way, but we need to add up the total perimeter, so we need to add all the sides. And once you add up all the sides, you should get that it was 40 feet of fencing. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video, try these two on your own. When you're ready, unpause, and we'll check your answers. Okay, now they've had time to work these problems, so let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem here is the work. You should have gotten 18 miles. And for the second problem, a couple of extra unknown sides here, but here's the work. You should have gotten 210 meters. Now, last type of problem. Here we go. It says Elizabeth wants to paint the bricks on the wall around her fireplace. She will paint the entire wall except where the fireplace is. How many square feet will Elizabeth paint? So she's painting the entire wall except for where the fireplace is. So what we need to do is we need to find the entire wall. So we're doing, it says square feet, right? So, and we're painting inside, so we're doing area. So let's look at the big rectangle first. So that would be a 7 by 10, so the area is 70 square feet. Now, let's look at, let's do green here. Now, let's look at just the fireplace. The fireplace is a 5 by 3, which is 15 square feet. And so what we need to do is we need 70 is the whole wall. We need to take away or subtract or not count the fireplace, which just means subtract, right? So I'm going to do 70 for the whole thing minus the 15, that's the fireplace, because I'm not going to paint the fireplace. And that tells me that I'm going to paint a total of 55 square feet. 55 square feet is the final answer. Okay, so we're doing the whole wall minus the fireplace. All right, time to practice. Go ahead and pause the video, try these two on your own. When you're ready, unpause, and we'll check your answers. Okay, now they've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, they are asking for perimeter. So we find the perimeter of the total rectangle, which is 26, and then you take away the two, there are two 1-foot openings. So you subtract the two, your final answer should have been 24 feet. And for the second problem here is the work, your final answer should have been 847 square feet. All right, that's it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.